We in the building. DJ Gambino, the Renaissance Man, and this is Sports Talk 101, presented to you by Country Vision Studios. We off in the building today, and we got a special guest in the building, Brother Brew.
How y'all doing? Country
Yes,
Vision
sir.
one time.
Oh yeah, welcome to the show, man. I know it's
Glad
been
to
a
be
long
here.
year, and I didn't even think I was gonna be able to get a sports show done.
Right.
Yeah, but glad you hit me up on the last show, but we already kind of had that mapped out, and I'm glad you're able to make it to the show this time.
I'm glad to be here. Glad to be here. My first episode. Hopefully be many more.
Yes, sir, and that's the attitude. Cause trust me, I will be calling you. All right, but what we got going on? What you thought about the NBA season this year? I'm talking about as far as it was a quick turnaround for them guys when they left the bubble and all that.
um, this year has been like no other. It was more blockbuster trades, and it was more players, the veteran players, sitting out games and teams being fine without everybody knowing. Because once the NBA bargaining agreement came together, they wanted to stop the resting of the players, the superstars, because that's who the fans are coming to see. That's the entertainment. They didn't come to see the backup. So this year here has been like no other. The trades, the the, the sitting out of the players, the young guys stepping up, and some of the old young veterans are reestablishing themselves with teams now, and that goes in the case of your Knicks also.
Yeah, they looking pretty good. I tried not to talk too much trash this year, but I had to throw a little post up there, not much, I had to say a little something about, but for me, I think they proven why they superior athletes. You know, Basically they had to go with no off season, and yes, this is a shorter season, but they had to play more back to backs and all this and that. And whether you don't play basketball or not, I'm pretty sure everybody knows the more you play, the more wear and tear it is
Right.
on your body. You know what I'm saying? And then it had to do with being locked in that bubble due to COVID and all this right here. I think the NBA kind of, as far as sport next to the NFL, because the NFL didn't stop, period. But next to the NFL, they did the best job as far as keeping going, during the pandemic or whatever.
Well,
But what you think
the
about
bubble
that?
was a great idea.
Say again.
That bubble was a great idea.
Uh, I don't know. Sometimes I look at it like, it could be a rec league title. You know what I'm saying? It could be a rec league title. But
Yeah.
like you said, though, due to the circumstances, I think everybody did good. And congratulations to the Lakers. They won it all. And did you catch the game last night?
I saw a piece of the game last night, and I went to sleep in my head saying King James missed the playoffs.
No, that I mean, he is LeBron James. I gotta give him his credit where credit due, but I mean, he do some awesome flopping and stuff too, man. He is, I think that's the part where a lot of people say they don't like LeBron James is because of that. Because you're such a superior athlete, you don't have to do all that. You know what I'm
He is the
saying?
king.
But what
He
you
is
think
the
about the
king.
play-in tournament?
Now that was different. That was another element to I would say the teams that was worthy of the year, of the all the back to backs, of the Charlottes. It was worthy of the San Antonios of the world, with all these young players still gelling, whether they make it or they don't make it to the playoffs. It was now you have a piece of experience of knowing a close game, how the playoffs will be, the breakdown, how you definitely have court set offenses are more than likely going to get you to the championship than just running and gunning. So that playoff, that play in, it's going to bring another element because teams are going to say like the market, the TV, and the money just for them being into the play in game. You know what I'm saying? So what if it's the home game? So if it's a
Right.
home game, another element of money. Now we make it to the playoffs. Our fans are seeing that we're trying, and it just gives you that college experience thinking of more like the first round. Could this be an upset coming?
For me, what was going on is I kind of like the way they did it. You know, for 7 and 8 is double elimination, and for 9 and 10, you know, you if you win, I mean, if you lose in the first round, you're out. If you
Yeah,
win, you move on to play the loser of the 7 and 8 seed.
right,
You know the regular season 7th and 8th seed because you're playing for the 8th seed in the playoffs.
right,
And when you think about it, back in the days when it when everything first kicked off, you know, as far as the West being a more dominant division, more dominant conference, you can have a team that's 42-40 and be on the outside of the playoffs. And in the Eastern Conference at the time, they probably have you at like number 6 or number 7. You know what I'm
right.
saying? So for the Western Conference, it's a good thing. It opens up the field more. For the Eastern Conference, I mean, it's pretty much the same old thing for me. You know, you got your teams that's bad. If when teams are bad, they bad, and mainly one. I mean, I want to say right now is Miami number 6. Miami number 6. So when you go from Miami back up to the top, you have pretty solid teams. But when you go down to like Boston, they was underachieving. The Wizards, the Charlotte Hornets. Uh, it was one more. Who was the other team? Oh, the Pacers. They still in it. But those teams there are, you know, very separate from the top. So for me, the playing
Right.
tournament is good for the Western Conference.
Well, I say it's good for the Western Conference because, like you said, it opens it back up because it's always jam packed on that AC every year in the West. So more, it looks more like it's benefiting the West. But if you really look at it, no matter how it comes, Philadelphia gonna benefit the greatest of all of the top three seeds in east side, the East and the West. By them being the one, look who they can wind up playing in the first round.
I don't know now, cause them Pacers something else, man. Them Pacers now, you know, I say they
Right.
separate from the other 6, but I think the Pacers probably could steal 2 or 3 games from Philly.
The
It might be a
reason
7 game series in that first round.
the reason that wouldn't happen is because the one thing that they do great is the one thing where the real true center is at in the NBA, and that is at the 5 with Embiid. And the Pacers bring everything to the hole. So they have that presence. So if you go back and look throughout that series this year, you could see why. Unless Embiid or Simmons was out, it was dominated.
But I really haven't checked the injury report. But Miles Turner, I know he led the league in blocks this year, so
Yes,
he's a
yes.
pretty good defender at the
At the
5
five.
position. You know what I'm saying? And what his name is, his daddy was good.
Sabonis.
Sabonis, yeah. He kind of can ball too, and that's up front. You know, that's an upfront thing. And
Yeah.
Ben Simmons that not being able to shoot the three, and you know you trying to be a ball handler and perimeter orientated. And don't get me wrong, he can get to the cup and finish with the best of them. But I think in the way the league designed now, especially when you got a center like Embiid that's gonna command the double team down in the post, you got to have shoot.
And that's what Philadelphia finally went out and did this year. So they have the shooters. You forget they got a Curry over there.
I know they got Kerr. I know they got Kerr.
Who else the sharpshooter over there? They got from the outside. They got him earlier this year in the trade.
I don't
When he
know.
came
What
in
about? I know they got Tobias Harris. I love his game.
Tobias Harris, he has the three, but he's the old school. He's the
Yeah.
old every championship team has that old school player who's the mid range gunner.
But the thing
Once you get
is, he's
inside
the type of
18
player
feet,
that you'll
but see
look up.
Philadelphia,
And Tobias be done dropped he be done dropped 20, 24, 25,
And it's
and
silent.
look like he ain't did nothing the whole game.
It's silent. That's because Embiid is doing what he's supposed to do. See, Philadelphia is understanding. If we don't give him this now, he's out of there. So he said, "You should have fed me the ball, and we would have went further in the playoffs." So now they're here back to the playoffs again. Now this whole season, it's been Embiid on out. It hasn't been, oh, Ben Simmons work around the top, pass it around, or late into the clock they look for Embiid, or Embiid getting the rebound because he's averaging what, a double double. He gets the rebound and he he's earning his own points. No, they running sets through Embiid now because he's talented. He's a great passer as a big man. He's very unselfish, but he's selfish also, and you need that. You need that dog when you're going into the playoffs that's saying you ain't coming into my house and taking nothing.
Yeah, I like Embiid, but sometimes his antics get on my nerves. But moving on, the Brooklyn, we already know who they playing. They playing the Boston Celtics. That's kind of intriguing to me because Boston is underachieving. Jalen Brown is out, you know, but
Right.
Jason Tatum been stepping up lately. He done dropped a couple 50 pieces, close together.
Well, Tatum can't do it by himself. They paid him the money. Kimber has to show up.
I respect that.
They paid him the money. He makes more money than Marcus Smart.
He should.
Why am I outperforming you though? Why is he outperforming?
I don't know now. Don't get me wrong, Marcus Smart, solid defender, but offensively, Kimber is way more of a talent than Marcus
He's
Smart
more
on the offensive end.
talented. He's more talented as a scorer. Yes, he's definitely a better scorer than Smart. But is he's disappearing. He has this Houdini act this year, like for
Yeah.
3 or 4 games, he's a no-show, and then bam, 30 and 10. Where he been at?
Yeah,
So like,
I think that's what happened with the first year too.
I just feel like we know Smart game in, game out, gonna bring everything and leave everything on the court.
Oh yes, sir. You remind me of a modern day Ron Artest.
Yes. Then we also know that their big men, even though they're lesser talented, they gonna give it their all. They're gonna bang the boards, they're gonna give you hard fouls,
Yeah.
but they need the guys who they paid the money to earn their check. And it's time for Mr. Walker to earn his check.
But he gonna have a tough matchup now. He gonna either be guarding James Harden or Kyrie Irving, man. And.
What I tell you this, right? He is who he is. He went where he went at in the draft. And he is Mr. Clutch. They consider him that in the NBA, and he was at Charlotte for so many years because Kimball was the man. Earn your keep. We paid you the bucks for this time of the year. If you gonna make your name and make your statement, who other than better than make it against Brooklyn and their guards, Harden or Irving? Kyrie saying it's something bigger than basketball. Life that's going on bigger than basketball.
He's something else, ain't he? Yeah, that Kyrie Irving, man. Man. When I seen him walking around the court burning sage, I say, man, that boy done lost it. He
He
really done lost it.
I don't know what to say about it. If I'm lost for words, bro.
I'm
I'm
telling
lost
you,
for
man.
words.
Kyrie, he's something else, man. But he is so talented. There's not a guard out there in the NBA right now that can handle the ball. And seem to me, a lot of people don't give him enough credit for his shiftiness, his craftiness, or nothing. Because to me, he top 3 point guard in the league right now.
They
Top
give
three.
it to him. They give it to him. But that may be the problem. His head has always been too big for his body.
It looked like it. It looked like he got an extra big head.
Right. So he needs to get his stuff together. because they have a championship roster.
Right.
If he don't get his stuff together, he could be on the way out of Brooklyn.
I don't know, cause I think when he signed it, it was a 4 or 5 year contract, and whoever get him gonna get a talent, and he's a proven winner. He's a champion, rookie of the year, and multiple time All Star. So to me, for Brooklyn, this championship a bust, cause y'all all in, man. Y'all got Kevin Durant, you got James Harden, then you got what the guy name is coming off the bench. Gerald Green. I like him. I like his
Gerald,
game
yeah.
for some reason. You know what I'm saying? You got DeAndre Jordan, then you got a couple more young gunners that's pretty talented. So I don't think
And then
nobody think that
you got
Boston will get.
the old school vet over there. You got old Blake over there.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot about Blake. But they talking about Blake might be done started back jumping. But I like what he said when he signed with Brooklyn, right? Everybody was calling me a bum a few months ago, you know what I'm saying? But now I'm signed with Brooklyn, I'm the bad guy.
Yeah, yeah. Well, hey, in every good movie, there's always a good villain.
Yeah, yeah. But I mean, this super team thing been going on for so long. People love to say LeBron started it, whoever started it. I mean, stars been
It
teaming up
started.
against Will
I'm
and
gonna tell you,
Jared West.
the super team was originally created in the '94 and '93 Rockets.
Yeah, but a lot of people feel like that team was over the hill when they got together because you had a aging Clyde Drexler, which was already old, even though they was coming off. I think that was when they had on won was it the back to back titles, and then
Mm-hmm.
no, I'm thinking more about the '95 Rockets. Or was it the '96? It's one of them, but they had
'95
Charles
and
Barkley,
'94.
Clyde Drexler, Scottie Pippen, Elijah Wan, four Hall of Famers, and they couldn't get past Utah Jazz. That might have been '97.
Well, you got to remember, '97 they didn't get past. McKeem had done '93 and '94 they repeat,
Right.
and a lot of the guys that was older. Clyde was like in his 12th year in the league, and then those guys back then they was doing 4 years in college or 3 years in college,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
coming out.
Yeah. But
So
back to
go
back
ahead.
to back to the future. The Milwaukee Bucks and the Atlanta Hawks. I think I got that right. No, it's the Milwaukee Bucks and the Miami Heat. I'm sorry.
Oh, I got a welcome surprise for everybody in the East, but he ain't a new name. He just got a new jersey on. Dwayne Dedman.
Who?
Dwayne Dedman. We've been searching.
Dwayne Dedman. You know what? I was watching a
We've been
Miami
searching
game.
for another big man to run along with Bam.
I was Deadman can play, man, but he been in the league so long, and I was like, Deadman still playing, but like I say, he a solid backup big man. Is he starting or is he backup?
He's the backup, but he also at moments he comes in and plays with Bam. See and when he comes in and he plays with Bam, Bam slides to the four. There ain't a four in the league, but Davis that gonna get on Bam and be able to hold it. Because he has a different type of game in the hole. He's very awkward and it seems off, but that's his shot.
But Bam seemed like he's gonna be one of the talented big men of the future of the league, which he is right now.
Right.
He is now, but I think it's another level or another gear to his game. Sometimes I get tired of Jimmy Butler. He sometimes you just too hard on your team, bro. And a lot of times when he go, oh, we just ain't doing this and we ain't doing that. I can imagine the guys getting in practice, be like, damn, Jimmy, all in front of the camera, talking about us like this right here. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I know a young lady, right? And she's one of the how can I say she's one of the she helps in the therapy and the recovery and the strength and conditioning program that the Heat has.
Mm-hmm.
And who is best to give you criticism than your family, than someone who love you, that ready to go to war.
That's one thing if we're in the locker room, but don't get in front of the media with that shit.
but this is their age. This is their time. It was different from the 80s and 90s. That wasn't how the NBA or players handled it. It was a different class.
I just
So
think
these
that
young
stuff like
guys,
that, no matter
these
what
young
what
these young
what
guys
era
think
you
they can go.
in, no matter what, you do stuff like that, it sinks the morale of the team. No matter what era you in.
But hey, every time Jimmy has his outbursts, we go on a spree. And I think it's best because it puts the chip on everybody else's shoulder because he already got the chip on his shoulder. So he put the chip on them. You get tired of someone talking down on you, so you're gonna stand up for yourself.
I don't know. Sometimes I just like I said, even when he was in Minnesota, dragging Carl Anthony Towns and all this right here about how
Right.
much hard he got and all this right here. I mean, come on, man. You just being a little extra.
Well,
But
them two players that don't like each other, so you can expect anything probably to come out his mouth or his mouth. So
I don't know. Carl Anthony Towns, I think he kind of handled it, not saying much in the media because, he kind of remind me of a big tickly teddy bear. He ain't gonna say too much.
right,
So
right, right.
now, next up, we got my New York Knicks and a team I used to like back in the day. Also, the Hawks. I'm gonna tell you what surprised me about the Hawks, man. When they made that coaching change and Nate McMillan came in, it's like he just brung all the talent that Atlanta has to the forefront.
A great player don't always make a great coach, but they say from the time Nate McMillan stepped on the court of the Seattle, the organization changed, the team changed. And then you brought in the younger guys like Gary Payton, and Payton said he looked up to Nate McMillan because he was the KG, or he was already a veteran. He was a KG veteran, and he only added to his game. And then if you think back to when Nate McMillan was just recently coaching a few years back, he always has been a player's coach. Players have played for him. Portland couldn't give him the players that he needed. But now to have these players that he have in Atlanta, oh man, playing defense. Cause we know they all can score. We know the scores. But they playing defense. We got Trey Young doing more than trying to the
Jackson
pickpocket.
from half
He's
court.
taking charges now.
Yeah.
He taking
Look,
charges.
my thing is power forward. Good as I know his name is escaping
John
me.
Collins.
John Collins. Early in the year, when they was talking about trading him, the first thing came to my mind was when Atlanta was the number one seed in the East and they traded Dominique Wilkins for Danny Manning. Now don't get me wrong, Danny Manning can ball. But at the time, you the number one seed, Nick playing out of his mind, dropping 30 a game, and right here in the midst of this, you want to pull a trade. But good thing they didn't. Good thing they didn't because Collins, I think he was a solid big man to complement Trey Young.
Yes, he's definitely a good player. Definitely a good player. I would definitely say he's one of the top 10 power forwards in the league.
Yeah, top 10.
You
Yeah, I give him that.
And,
And
early in the year, he just I don't know where he was at. He was out of his game. It might have been some type of off the court distractions, or just hearing the rumors that you may be on the trading block, and this is where he wanted to be and improve his point, maybe, which was here in Atlanta. So now, the whispers are going away. His game is stepped up, and he's back to the John Collins we seen just a couple of years ago, back to back, made the All Star game.
right, right. And what about the resurgence of Clint Capella?
Well, I wouldn't say a resurgence because Capello has been doing the same thing everywhere he went. You know, he's always been healthy. He's not injury prone. It just what system you put him in, you already know. Okay, I'm not gonna put him nowhere where he has to score the ball. He's not a scorer. He's a great defender, a great rebounder. So, and use his element as a big man,
Well,
just as what he used to
shit.
be.
You talking about a good score when he used to come off that pick and roll with James Harden, boy? He would catch about six lobs a night.
but that's what you had. You know, Houston was Lob City. If you turned around and you turned your back, if Harden wasn't stepping back on you, he was going by you and he was throwing it up to whoever was right there, the big man, Clinton Capella, throwing it up. Even Tucker was getting him a one or two in. You know, he made Anderson. He made what a boy. What it was a foreign player that the Heat used to have, right? And the Heat had him. The Hawks had him. He done went somewhere everywhere. He made Zaza Pachulia look like he had a 47-inch
on now, the
vertical.
fans almost voted Zaza into the All-Star game. They had to change the rules because of Zaza.
That's what I'm trying to tell you because he wasn't playing well Harden, and Harden put him on a different angle. Like, but see, when you have a great player, he don't just draw double teams. Sometimes he draws triple teams.
So, what about my New York Knicks, man? I'm trying to
Oh,
tell
we
you,
can wait
man. I
and
mean,
get to this one, my dude.
I can talk a lot of big shit finally. You know what I'm saying? I can talk a little shit now. You know what I'm saying? We got a home round first series here, baby. You know what I'm saying? Don't get me wrong. When they first chose Thibodeau as the coach, I really didn't like it. Cause I felt like Mark Jackson have been out the league so long. I don't know what he did down there in Golden State. I heard he went off on Jerry West, whatever he did. But I was more lobbying for Mark Jackson to get the job. But I can't complain about what Thibs done did. He done opened up Julius Randle game. Derrick Rose is looking like he ain't looking like the explosive Derrick Rose, but far as the numbers are concerned, he putting up solid good point guard numbers. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And the New York Knicks actually look kind of like a lower seed contender.
So what I want to know now, because this is your Knicks, before I even talk about it.
Well, don't
What
jump all
do
on me
you
about the
think
roster now. Like I said, I'm
about
rusty. We ain't did this all
Randall?
year.
I want to know about Randall. Tell me what you think about the season
I
he
liked it
is
in
having right now.
Well, this the age of the internet. So Randall was one of them original players that first, kind of was an internet sensation. You know what I'm saying? He
Right.
had some excellent highlight videos in his high school days, college days, or whatever. And when I seen him with the Lakers, I always wondered why they was playing with that man. Now, did I think he was a all star and should be mentioned? I said mentioned now, not win, and should be mentioned in the MVP conversation. No, I ain't expect all that from him. But his game has just opened up and flourished so much up under Tom Thibodeau.
Well, as I told you before, and we had a discussion, if you give me 30 touches, I'm going to at least go 20 points. But, and not knocking Randall's game, because I have always liked it, the energy that soon when he's in the game, no matter where he was playing at, his energy, his aggressiveness going to the bucket, his step back to hit, to earn his step back to hit his mid-range jumper. And now that he even added to his game that he can hit the open three, But the biggest thing about Randall is he's a mismatch as a big man. Playing him at the power forward, you can look at Randall at that moment as a European player with their dribble as a big man because he can handle the rock. So you put a 6'10", 6'11" big man on him, and he ain't Andre Davis who you putting on him. He going around him.
And he got a J.
And if you put the three on him, he gonna back him down. And he has the point guard mentality. He don't mind dishing it out to now we see that the improvements in the game of Derrick D. Rose. He kick it out of D. Rose. D. Rose draining the three on a consistent level. He kicks it out to the young fella from Duke. What his name is? Y'all got him in the first round.
JT Barrett.
You got Barrett.
JR Barrett. JT.
Yeah, JR. Barrett is up in his game. And it just came across the wire. Just came right across the press. It's hot. Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder have agreed for another fight.
Oh yeah, we were talking about that the other day online. He lost in that arbitration. But right quick, Well, Fury kind of lost in the arbitration. They say he had to fight Wilder before he fight
Probably somebody else. Yeah.
Joshua. Yeah, but
'Cause, yeah.
let's go through this right quick. Philly against the Wizards or the Indiana Pacers. I'm pretty sure you're gonna take Philly, right?
I like Philly in 5.
Okay,
Whoever
you
it
got
is.
the Brooklyn Nets, Boston Celtics.
4-2. Brooklyn.
You got Milwaukee, Miami. I ain't even we didn't even really talk about Milwaukee because I'm pretty. To me,
I
the
know
only
we
thing they
haven't
kind of
said.
done is I like Middleton game, Bledsoe and all them, but to me, y'all just built all wrong or something.
I'm gonna tell you this. Everybody loves the addition of the brother. What his name is, the point guard.
Bledsoe.
Not Bledsoe. The one they brought in. He was
Oh,
at Indiana.
um, I know who you talking about.
Because his brother's in the league also. Because he went to
Not
UCLA.
Teague, is it?
Huh?
It ain't Jeff Teague, is it?
No. They brought in the boy he was starting at over there in Indiana.
No.
Holiday.
Kyle Holiday, yeah. Drew
I liked
Holiday.
that move when you brought Holiday in. But the one thing that you still did not do is get shooters for Giannis.
Like I said, to me it seemed like they built all wrong, and I'm gonna go out on a limb, and I'm probably gonna take Miami in this series.
And I'm gonna tell you this, and I'm gonna look you in the face and say, we're gonna give them another smackdown.
Okay, so you're gonna be biased since that's your team and take Miami, right?
I got to say we built to beat them.
Yeah, that sound about right. Okay, New York and Atlanta, who you like?
New York and Atlanta?
Right.
I didn't think I thought y'all playing Atlanta 4 versus 5. That's right.
Well,
Wow, that's tough.
I'm gonna take New York. I'm gonna be just like you. I'm gonna ride
But I
with my
got to
team.
tell you,
I'm gonna ride with my team.
I
Ain't no
got
way
to tell you this.
Trey Young, John Collins, Clint Capella,
Listen,
Cam Reddish. Is he still hurt? Cam Reddish.
I came ready for you. Cam Reddish, I think he'll be ready for the first round. But I'm not quite sure. They're gonna work if he's ready, they may work him in only, he's gonna be on the time limit.
Okay.
And in the playoffs,
Go ahead.
in the playoffs, you really don't want, players coming back on the time limit because you holding other players back who got the cohesion, gain the cohesiveness and the chemistry on the court. So I wouldn't look for Cam to have, a great effect in this series unless it draws out to be a 7-game series or, a second round type for him. But I wore this shirt just for you. So I was making my pick when you brought up the game. I got it on. We taking the A.
Okay, taking Atlanta. Okay, we finna go to the Western Conference, and due to a little time constraint, we won't be able to go team by team with that. But what we can do is, go through the brackets.
Okay,
So
that'll
right
work.
now we got Utah gonna either play Golden State or the Memphis Grizzlies. Good
Utah.
Steph Curry is, if he get past John Morant, I'm still gonna take Utah.
I would love to see Memphis and Utah play because that'll be exciting in the first round. It's something worthy of staying up for to see John Morant and the brother name. I forget his name right now. From Utah. 45.
Oh, you talking about Donovan Mitchell?
Donovan Mitchell.
Yeah, he'll be back. He's supposed to be making his comeback because he been out for a little minute with his ankle.
Right, he could have came back. Nobody stays out that long just for an ankle sprain. But
no, he said it was more serious. He said that today. I read in the article he was talking about it was more serious than what everybody thought it was. But I don't know. Now LeBron was out for a while with his little high ankle sprain.
Well, PPT player, prime time players, a PTP player, as Dick Vitale say.
PTP.
Yeah, PTP. They got also a different code that they treat them by.
Yeah, but
So
I mean, Donovan Mitchell, I think he earned his bones, and that's another
right,
guy who
right,
I think should be in the discussion for MVP. Should be in the discussion. Now, I'm not gonna sit here and say he should win, but you gotta recognize what the guy done did. He the best player on the best team in the league.
right now.
As far as record wise for the regular season.
So I agree with you. I agree with you. But if he's had a phenomenal year. He's had a phenomenal year. I can't take it from him. But if I would give it to the player, the MVP of the league, that means he was the most valuable player every time he stepped on the court. I would give it to Chris Paul
Yeah, and
because the
speaking of that, we going
turnaround.
to you think they gonna get past the Lakers?
I want to. I don't think so, unless it's an injury, some barring of injuries to a primetime player from the Lakers, Davis or LeBron. But I do think they'll make it more interesting than people would think.
I think they might get away. I really do. Because right now, LeBron and them, like I said, it was an awesome game last night. I hate you missed it or whatever, but that was all the billing of LeBron versus Steph, they lived up to it. And like I said, that really sold me on the play-in tournament.
Right.
But anyway, you got to think LeBron and them last night barely got past Steph and them in the Golden State Warriors,
Right.
and Phoenix is built and ready to go. I mean, they done took their time with the rebuild and I got a bunch of good young players in there. And then they throw Chris Paul in there. This is championship caliber. Cause let's not forget, last year the Thunder was what the sixth, seventh, maybe fifth seed, something like that. They was pretty high to say with what they had, you know,
Right.
and that was all because of Chris Paul. And like you said,
Right.
is they gonna mention him in MVP? I
He,
don't know.
I don't think so.
But his impact on that team should, get recognition.
Has been MPV-ish, yeah.
I don't think he gonna get MVP because I mean, really, he ain't even in the top. Cause right now they saying it's either Jokic or Embiid, and everybody's saying Jokic. You know, the Associate Press writers when you hear them go to talking about who they leaning toward, that's usually who gonna get it. Cause they the ones who vote for it.
Right. Yeah.
So
Well, I can't. You can't take nothing from Luca.
no, not Luka Doncic. Jokic in Denver.
Oh, oh, okay.
Yeah,
Jokic over there, the big man.
yeah,
Well,
and speaking of him, he playing the Portland Trail Blazers. What you
but
think about
see,
that?
he and he see, and he gonna have a phenomenal series against Portland because Portland has no answer for him.
Nurich, what his name is? Nurich. That center is he injured?
Nah, he talking about over there in Portland. Nah,
Yeah, and then
still,
they got Enos Cantor.
yeah.
Uh, Enos is a pretty solid center, man. To
Well,
me, I'm just
Enos,
saying to be
Enos
coming off
is
the
tough.
bench.
Ain't nothing is easy when cancer is guarded. We know that. Ain't nothing gonna be easy. He bring an element of toughness every time he step on the court. And you know that's a big man that gonna go have your back if you hard foul, if you the point guard. So Lillard and the young fella name, man, he shoot the lights out.
CJ McCollum.
McCullough, those guys, Anthony, they gonna be able to they fired away when Enos on the court because they know Enos gonna go down there and bang.
Yeah.
You
He's a good rebounder. He had I think a 30 rebound game this year.
yes,
He
he
got
did. He
30
definitely did.
boards.
But
But
as I would
for me,
say,
I'm the reason why I'm gonna take Portland. I'm gonna take Portland due to the fact that damn guard for Denver, he out right
Murray,
now.
Murray,
Murray. Murray
yeah,
is out, and I just Jokic. They got some good young players on that team. They added a old boy from Orlando. Uh, I
the
just
guard.
yeah. No, he small forward, ain't it? Small forward, power forward.
Oh,
Can't think of his name right now. He was the best player in Orlando, if you ask
oh,
me.
Aaron Gordon.
Aaron Gordon, yeah. I like his game.
Yeah.
What is it, 3 and D wing,
Mm-hmm.
and can fly.
Yeah,
He
he
got
definitely could
55
fly.
miles. But like I said, I don't think with Murray out of the lineup that it's gonna be hard for Jokic gonna have to do a lot, even though he a triple double threat every night. He gonna have to do a lot to beat Portland when you got Carmelo Anthony, C.J. McCullough, Damian Lillard. Can't forget his game time. You know what I'm saying? You gonna have
Yeah.
to do a lot to beat them.
Well, only thing I can tell you is what you said. He's in the running to be the MVP of the league, and he has enough fire over there that they don't have to have Murray definitely in the first round, because Lillard and McCullough gonna get them regardless. So only thing you looking for is you need another player to step up. So they went and got Gordon to step up. They still had a young fella that they got the year before, that was the rookie. Like he stepped up to play now. The 6'11" small forward they got over there, he's starting now for Denver. I can't think of his name, but remember he had heart problems or something, back problems.
Porter.
Porter done stepped up. He's showing.
Michael Porter Jr. Yeah.
He's
You know
showing.
what? I thought the Knicks whiffed when they took Barrett that year, but I mean
They
Barrett,
definitely
he's
did.
solid. I take either one, But that boy Porter, I believe he gonna be kind of end up being a special talent in the league before it's all said and done.
See, Denver had the luxury to take him though, whether he busted out or he was able to come back. If he can't be a awesome player like his upper, elite level was before he hurt his back, but if he could be a solid guy in the NBA, a solid guy in the NBA can play 15 years.
Yeah, that's what your boy Kwame Brown said. But we'll get to that card. We're gonna get to that on the party shots. We got one more series to go through here, and that's the Clippers versus the Mavericks.
Ooh. All I can tell you is you better put some respect on that boy Luka name, man.
Yeah.
You gotta put some respect on his name. Luka is becoming, and it's hard to walk in a Hall of Famers shoes. Not just a Hall of Famer though. We talk about one of the top 50th players of all time, Dirk Nowitzki. And the pressure that was put on Luka coming from overseas, going in the top 5, and being that he was European, you going over there with Dirk, he telling you, I'm finna retire, but I'm gonna stick around and play 1 year with the young fella and help lead him and groom him for his potential. And that was phenomenal. That was very big for Luka because he learned how to be a pro. Even though he was a pro overseas, it's a big difference to come from being in Lithuania or somewhere and playing in New York and playing in LA and playing in Houston, playing even in Dallas, then playing in Miami, these media markets and they boosted you up. You the best European player since Dirk left now. But then Jokic steps up. Then we got Kristaps, we going through the thing that they got with Porzingis. Luka can upset the Clippers by being Luka.
I believe you probably about right on that, due to the fact that in that bubble, boy, it's like it's just like sometimes a team just got your number. Yeah. And don't get me wrong, the Clippers, they got a lot of talent. But again, it's kind of like Milwaukee. They're just all over the place with it. You don't know what you're going to get on any given night. You know what I'm saying? And the European style of basketball, ever since Ginobili hit the scene, them boys was going to be trouble. Because that was I think it was Argentina that beat USA, when we kind of started slouching in the Olympics. But that European style of play and Rick Carlisle way of coaching, because I always think about when Chauncey Billups and the Pistons won a championship that year.
Yeah,
that was Rick Carlisle's team.
Yeah, he played defense.
And Brown came in, it's like Warren Sapp said, it's a cake in the oven cooking, You know what? The cake done. Let me take it out, add some dressing on it. You know what I'm saying? And the
That's
dressing
it.
was the championship. So we
That's
know
it.
Rick Carlisle know how to coach.
Definitely.
Tyron Lue, to me, that team in Cleveland, it was just handed to him. I mean, come on. Now, did anybody know they was gonna beat Golden State, come down from 3-1 and all that right there?
No,
No.
they didn't.
But we knew that Cleveland team was gonna be in the finals, no matter whether it was
Who
Black
was the coach?
or what's the name
Yeah,
coach.
it didn't matter. You know, Lou has benefited twice. Lou has benefited twice. Lou has benefited twice right now from just walking in situations and walking in on head coaching jobs because he's a player's coach. He's who the superstar always relates to. You know, LeBron, and then when you went Kobe. You know, but they tried it with Big Red's son over there in LA. Bill Walton's son, Luke.
Oh,
They
Luke
tried
Walton.
it with Luke's son. But Luke, the players didn't respect Luke. So when you lose the players on your team respect, you lose the team.
Right.
And when he lost the team, hey, Kobe said, why look for any place else? Get Tyron over there off that bench.
But I don't know. He gonna be like I say, Rick Carlisle and his squad and uh, I don't know, man. It's kind of a toss up. So I think this is just a pick 'em game because you can't go wrong with whoever you pick. But I'm gonna think that uh the Clippers. I'm gonna think the talent gonna override and they good enough to get past Dallas in the first round. Cause you know it was rumors that they was tanking to avoid the Lakers.
I know, but I just say this. I don't know what happened in that bubble, but they ain't had it back yet. A little bit show up here and there, but they ain't have it back. But I think though, with what you saying, no matter even though how much I like Luke, watch out for the Clippers. They're very dangerous. They don't have the high expectations this year. The spotlight is not on them. And Kawhi kind of always finds a way when the spotlight is not on him. So the
Yeah.
spotlight is not on him this year.
Yeah, I never underestimated him, man. I mean, ever since from the first time when he was the lead dog when they took down that what everybody thought was unbeatable Miami Heat team. Uh, then he comes and takes the championships from the clutches. Embiid sent him home crying, looking ugly.
Right.
You know, the boy bad to the bone. And he can't. Now, uh, Paul, uh,
Paul George.
Paul George. So I ain't playoff P and all this, bro. You ain't did nothing yet. So hope maybe this year's the year. But we're gonna have to
I'm
end
gonna
it on
say
that
this to
note,
you.
bro.
Huh?
Go ahead and get that out. We getting ready to wrap it up here.
Okay, but what I was gonna tell you was playoff P haven't been playoff P since he seen that 6 in Miami. That's when he lost it.
I don't know. To me, he been a solid player, a good player, but ever since he broke his leg, it was like the growth curve that he was having because he was headed to the top like a rocket, but it kind of plateaued after that. You're
Right.
gonna get you
Yeah.
20 something points a game, and get you a couple rebounds, couple assists, but it's like it's not gonna go no further than that.
Right. I
But
forgot about that injury.
hey man, I want to thank you for coming on the show, man. I really appreciate it. You did an excellent job. And
Appreciate it,
there
man.
was no doubt. There was ever no doubt when you said you wanted to get on the show. I know you'll be knowledgeable about the conversation or whatever. On Facebook, you are Bruce Walker, right?
That's right.
I know we friends, but everybody got different Facebook names. My name Uriah Gambini, so on Facebook. You got a Twitter
Yeah, Bruce Walker.
handle or Instagram?
No, you can just check me out on Facebook, Bruce Walker. You know, I want y'all to look forward to CNC mobile car detailing and pressure washing. And also we offering sanitizing, hey, the COVID is still out there because, everybody's not fully vaccinated and everybody's not getting vaccinated right now. So
You vaccinated?
no, I'm not vaccinated.
And me either. I mean,
And
I'm waiting. I'm gonna see if anybody else gonna grow an extra arm before,
well,
before I
I
do it.
kind of said once everybody gets vaccinated, then more, 3/4 of the world pretty much is going to die out. It's going to pass out.
Right. That's
You
what.
know.
That's the way I figure it too. But like I said, we at the end of the show, man, and y'all always know out there in the world how we end the show. Peace, prosperity.